working on all this so that we can poly, and close the floor in. I guess we could leave the strip there, just clean it up, and then just insert this plywood. Right now the plywood can slide outside and inside, so we still have something to work on. I'm going to start with pulling up this plank so we can run a whole new one here. And then we can run our rim board going back. Again, everything has to be done a certain way so my pants don't fall down. We may as well get the pouch on. Don't need these gloves. You got no grip inside when it's warm. This way we can go walking. Oh. They actually put something to kind of shim it higher over here for whatever reason. I kind of will have to set this sheet before I put this one in. So I can push it in from the outside. I won't be able to smack it in from this side. You need to smack it in. Well, small bits of garbage. The good thing about this is I can actually move the sheet back so I can finish that corner. And I think while there's daylight out, let's grab that. Blocking at, wow, all the joist spans are different. Should be 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, and should be 14 and a half. What do we got here? Both sides, 16 to center. I'll just do this blocking first. Then we can throw the strip on, or actually no, we're going to put the poly in, rip out the insulation, and then that any poly up into the wall. Shaking outside. We need a broom. Cut these blocks, vacuum out all the cavities. I'll get you guys a little closer here so you can kind of see what's going on. All right. So, right down here, we've already put blocks in. You can see the block down below. That ceiling needs something done always. Heating, working. I know, I've been telling them, like, well, you could see the rot behind me. Look at the mold, water damage everywhere. And the best opportunity to do all of this is actually, we were going to start from the other rooms back, but we're here now because we were doing the bathroom. Now, as we're ripping out this area, I'm like, you should put a pan in the floor. And what I mean by that is like vapor barrier the floor, because literally the floor has like less than R12 in it. And I said, we'll just throw some blow-in insulation there and that'll be good. But we're not going to blow it in. We're just going to stir it up in a garbage can and dump it in. And then that'll give you better seal in the floor. Now, when you're doing the walls, so behind me, you see you got to reframe all this. But we got to put the floor in before we can reframe. And I'm standing on the bathroom right now. And so because there's no vapor barrier on the exterior wall, no vapor barrier under the floor, her bills are like $700 a month here in the wintertime. And I said the best thing to do is to just fix it as we go. And we have to tackle it a certain way. So I'm telling her she needs to rip out this closet because this affects how we put the vapor barrier in. So that closet needs to be torn out. This floor needs to be torn out. And this floor needs to be torn out so we can put a vapor barrier up onto these blocks I'm going to be putting in. But everyone's getting frustrated because everyone lives here, have no bathroom, so they go over to their friend's house to use the bathroom. This is like a complete renovation. And Master Builder, thanks for the comments. Everyone that's saying hi. Hi. So like even this ceiling should get ripped out, but they may not go for it. It's wavy. It's all over the place. And yeah, I don't know. Here we are. Here we are. If I lived here, that's what I would do. I'd rip it all out. I'd just gut the whole place. But obviously money's always the issue. We can only do so much. So this should all be 14.5-inch blocks. I'm going to cut those now. We're going to get this stuff going. I gotta hand it to Flex though. Like, they make an amazing saw, and this is a Flex blade, and it cuts like butter, and it's been used like so much. I would recommend these Flex blades. They're amazing. They cut through nails and they stay sharp. What else do you want, right? That's what I want for now. I'm not sponsored by Flex, but Flex, send some sponsorship my way. I would totally promote these tools. Because honestly, they are the best tools, hands down. From what I've used, I've been in the construction industry for a little bit now. 5, we need 5. 11.5, and this one is 11. another piece. One, two, three. And a couple more. Square-ish. They're just blocks. 14 and a half. 14 in between a half. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I need. 5. So these things are weighted so well. They're okay now. We can set everything nice and straight because it should be 14 and a half. You can see that one needs to move over. So essentially this one's still connected to the outside. Sledgehammer for sure. I'm going to be here all day tapping at that. So all your spacing in here is 16" on center. So all your blocking should be 14 and a half inches. I guess I wasn't really filming what we need to be filming. So this 14 and a half, it should go 14 and a half inches all the way. And that means every joist will land perfectly center. That's not 14 and a half. What did I cut? Well, that's not a 14 and a half inch piece. Good one. I went in. Weird. I must have thrown in one of the cutoffs. At least I caught the mistake before it became a big issue. Out more. So that should be 16 inch on center now. And it is. A little off. This one should be 14 and a half too. Yep. See, that fits nice. Before I put that in, actually, it's easy to nail through the side than it is to put a toenail in there. That's nice and solid. Oh, you know what I did? Because when I'm cutting with the Makita saw, the blade's only 1/16 of an inch. And on this saw, it's 1/8 of an inch. So I lost a 1/16 of an inch. That's what happened when I cut these blocks. I lost a 1/4 inch on one. 16th of an inch. And this one is 14 and a half, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Look at that, it slid in perfectly like it belongs. Beautiful. Just double check. Got 1/16 of an inch off on each one. So that means it'll get smaller as I go. I can use that blocking somewhere else anyways. So I'll cut. So when you're marking with your square, I like to make sure end is square first. perfect. Because I usually use the Makita. So you start your first one at 14 and a half. Then your next one at 14 and 5/8 to make up for that saw blade. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Then 14 and 5/8. And that's how you make sure all your pieces are the perfect size. And you cut from this end that way. So, when I stand my blocks, they're all the same height. And then I can move the joists that need to be moved. Look at this. Best part of having access to the floor like this is easier to nail it from the back side into the block. What I'm doing is I'm creating a piece. I put too many nails, but the first two were too low. So then this one is going to push that one, and everything should be really good from here on out. I can push myself through the wall a little bit here. Problems. Look at how much that joist needs to come over anyways. See if I can maybe this end. Okay. Nail done. Oh, need more nails. one thing I would change about the flex nailer is I would make this head a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter. That's about it. Other than that, it's really good. And I'm kind of glad I got it, because I could hand nail these, which is stronger. It's funny, it's like they use wood glue on the floor. Let's double check. Everything should be lining up. 16 on center. All the way through. Nail this one like this. That hit something hard. The nail hit and then curled up. Okay, that's probably the best I can get that. There's a tiny gap here. Should be 14 inches in the center. But these are slightly off because they were originally framed that way. So I was just correcting. Yeah, if this moved over a 1/4 inch, we would be a 1/4 inch, 100%. It's literally a 1/4 inch off. Like, if I went like that, now I'm dead center on every joist. So, the original issue might have been that first joist. And, I'm going to go outside and cut that wall. And then we're going to, you know what, for now, I think what I'm going to do, instead of cut that wall, slide this plywood over there, clean this out, and start putting the poly down. So at least that's sound. Put poly in here. And then insulate it. Then whatever spray foam needs to go in. Because it'd be easier to work that way than this way. Yeah. So all this blocking is done except for one in there, which we can do once we set that up. So I'm going to slide this plywood back. We'll clean out this cavity and start putting insulation in. Then rip up this floor, at least this way. Everything on that side is ready to go. So right now there's some bracing here and one brace in that corner holding up the corner, which is stopping everything from sinking. And then we can at least have a place to walk. why this job is taking forever. Because there's no room. How much moving needs to take place just to get to here. Poly. I think what I'm going to do is roll it out a 4-foot way. Leave it to overhang. And leave it to overhang a few inches. So that I can go up a joist cavity when we have enough Alright. So what I'm also going to do before I put the poly down is any holes, I'm going to use some window spray foam. I'm going to use some low expansion window spray foam to fill in any gaps. I got a cheap Rona special. I got one of these cheap Rona spray guns. $12. But that should fill in. That should fill in any of the gaps you see. Any exterior gaps. Some kind of a wire here, but we'll just push that back down because it was always down. I'm just going to press the plastic into that. Okay. A little more here. It's actually not a bad gun for $12.99. Leave that there. Don't end up in it right just yet. We should cover the joists, and then we'll just cut on top of the I'm going to set up the camera from here so you kind of get what I'm doing. And my hammer tacker. pouch off. There's no point in having all that extra weight. And then we're gonna staple to the and then individually do the cavity. So right now I got. Can I stand on this? A little bit, yeah. Fold that. Okay. Because I have to cut each one individually. This is where the fun starts. Usually, I would have probably done this from underneath, but if I was building these, that's how I would do it. Now I've created this pen. And I can cut it so it's nice and straight along the top of this joist. And then I can do a nice fold. This is why I wore knee pads, because I knew I would need them. So there's one pan done. And I cut off any excess that's sticking above the floor. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to keep the heat from leaking out through this really crappy, it's basically a pressed wood fiber. There's one. Now we'll start another one. It would be so much easier if I had something to kneel on here to keep going. Whoa. Let's do this. Let's do this. That'll work. Alright. Need to be kind of on the joist, but not in the way. So we'll bring this pan forward. And in all rights, honestly, the best way to do this would be to put black Acoustacil caulking all the way around, which would seal the joist better. But working on time restraints and budgets is what's causing a lot of the kerfuffle issues. I might even have to cut a piece of plastic and staple that in there. But that foam is going to stick to that plastic anyways. Good there. Push this plastic over there. And we're going to put our 20 in here, and that'll make the floor a lot warmer. We're going to cut some of this off, kind of fill in what's missing. Make the next one better. There, that'll be good. Fold these back. My knife fell down. And this way I this can fold in over those pieces I just installed. There. One pan. Well, that's two pans actually. Now we can just pretty much slide along. Just gonna check how we are on staples. We'll just throw a few in there. Keep the gun roaring. Out so we're not short like we were last time. I just want it to be at the right height. So we'll start get a nice fold back from this corner, which would work really well. I'm just pressing it into that spray foam that I used earlier. Bring the side across, nice and tight. Just gonna this way. Fold this back, press it in to the foam, push this corner. Any problems with you? Folds way nicer in this corner. Pop this envelope a little bit so I can get it better. Fold this back. Cut off any excess. Sliver. Okay, there we go. One done almost, another one. Cut that. Break the knife so it's sharp. And then we're just going to cut off any plastic that could be coming up above the floor. So that so when we place the insulation in, it's nice and sealed. Push that in. Alright, we're moving along. It's good that it's cold because the foam isn't drying right away. fold back this way. Reno cat! Where's Hendrix? Come here, Hendrix. Where's my Reno cat? It's like a work of art. Fold that in. Now, I will admit this is not going to be 100% sealed, but way better than what it was. And being that this plastic is in, this is going to mean that we have a little breathing on the sides if it needs, so it doesn't like sweat. But to seal it perfectly, I would put a bead of Acousti-Seal all the way around. But the better way would have been to just poly the hole underneath and then put this board on. So we've done 4 cavities. We've got a few more to go. I need to get that screw out. I'm going to run around the back there. Run around the outside. Let's just show you guys what's happening. So, you can see how these pans, now we'll just stuff the insulation on top of that. And, let me move this out of the way so you can get a better view, and I'm on to the next joist anyway. So see how we pressed it into the spray foam nicely, and then we overlap it over our blocks that we put in, so when we put the pan underneath, we'll bring it up and over onto this, and that's going to seal the floor, make it warmer. So I got to run outside and unscrew 3 screws. I will put these nails where those screws will be, and then I can see them. I'll just place them on the rim joists here. There's one there. Oh, there's a Hendrix, the Reno cat. He's helping. There's another screw here. I think there was one more. No, that was it. Those 2. Let me just double check. We're pretty good. It was just those 2. So let's grab the drill. Reno cat, what are you doing? go outside. And we'll let Flex light the way. We got lights over here. Another one here. Oh shit, did I let the chicken in? This is the other side of this place. Look at how much snow. Yeah, like I said, put those screws there for the nails so I could see, just in case I couldn't see on this side. Take those out. I'm pretty sure there's no more. Let Flex lead the way. I gotta tell you, everything's been really challenging in life. I fix everyone's problems, and then mine get kind of left on the side burner, and it shouldn't be that way, but I'm repaying debts that are owed for those who have helped me. And that's why we're here. I just want to see this chicken. Oh, chicken is in there. There's a chicken on site. And every time that gate's open, that thing goes out. Goes like into the house. So Reno cat's there. Alright, let's set this back up. We'll give you a different view now, because we're getting so close to this side now. And now you guys should be able to get a better view of what we're doing. As we're moving down, we're just making more pans. Need that poly again. Should probably set this cord up a little bit so I don't end up tripping on it. There. This way. And we're gonna here. Whoa. Look at how much that wall moves there. Won't there be enough for it to go outside? Got that poly. Extend this past. Kind of got a little farther because we're insulating the next one right there. Work with me here. To be straight up honest with everybody, this is the first time I've ever had to insulate joists like this. But there was two reasons why we're doing this way. There's holes in the in this corrugated board. It's all like pressed. It's like a soundboard almost, but back then it was called Tentest. Back in the day, and basically. This is also to stop any insulation or anything from coming back into the house. Any insulation from falling out into the exterior. So I'm just going up to the tight to the joist. Fold. Oh my God. Everything's just falling on the walls because it's so rotten. But yeah, pull that back. So I can fold it into the corner nicely back here like that. Perfect. Push it right down into the corner, staple it so it doesn't move. That way I can press it over to that corner as I go. It's a lot of work. Cut this now. I should be able to finish stapling. This is 6 mil poly, which is what you should always use when you are doing vapor barrier. Nice. Cut the strip here so it's not against the joist. And then when we spray foam the sheet down, the sheet's also going to act as another sealer for this cavity. Fold that, and then I'll actually run that into the corner nicely. Fold that like that. And that can go over that block that we put in. And there, another one done. The next one. And then we'll cut out that wall, remove that sheet, put that strip in, finish the poly up to there. We're getting closer to putting down plywood. Want to keep that nice and high. Fold that into that corner. cut that excess so it doesn't end up under the sheet. Instead of hitting my hand, I can use the knife to hold it. Out of staples. Try and use up all the little guys first. Another can done. And we can do one more. And then we'll go outside, cut that, remove that sheet, put this pan in, start throwing the insulation in. I gotta put that sheet in first because I don't have any room to smack it in. Yeah. All right. Move my sheet over. Move over sheet. I gotta move the sheet of plywood that the phone is on. So let's do this. Oh look, it's Reno Cat. Hi Reno Cat. cut this big because you can always trim the excess. Definitely sore on the back, I can tell you that. Danger, danger, danger. There. Now we've done almost all the sections now. Slide this sheet back now. We can save this for the rest of the polish. Okay, what else we got here? I don't want to put the insulation in just yet because, we'll be cutting and sawdust, and I'm just trying to keep things somewhat clean. What's underneath this? It's gouging the floor. Now we'll have something to walk on while we work in this area next. So, whoa. This is where we are now. Bring this sheet of plywood back. And then get stuff around. And then we're going to cut out the wall from the outside, remove that sheet, put the next sheet in. Well, remove that sheet, then put the pan in underneath here. So I just have enough room to do that. And then we can keep going. I'm gonna get situated. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the live. I'm gonna end the live and then restart when I go outside. I'm just gonna get ready, get everything in place, and then you guys can follow me outside. I'll restart another live. See ya. Oh, thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing and commenting. You guys are amazing. Give me about a half an hour. I'll get set up outside and I'll start the live again. I'll title the video "Cutting the Exterior Wall" so we can fit plywood. I guess that's what we'll call it.